Good morning, students. I am Ma'am Violet Bailey, and in science, today we will be starting the new chapter, and the name of the chapter is Water as a Resource. In the previous chapter, we have already learnt about the three forms of matter, that is, solid, liquid, and gas. And we have also learned that water exists in all the three states. In solid state, it is in ice form. In liquid state, it is in water form. And in gaseous state, it is in water vapor or steam form. We have also learned that one state of matter can be changed into another state of matter. For example, liquid water changes to solid ice upon freezing. Similarly, change between liquid and gaseous states occur through evaporation and condensation. Here in this diagram, you can see that water, when it is cooled, it changes into ice, and water when heated changes into steam. Let us now understand the process of evaporation. The process in which a liquid changes into its gaseous state is known as evaporation. Means liquid when changes into its gas state, it is called evaporation. Evaporation is faster when we heat water and it is slower when we cool it. Let us understand with the help of an activity. Take a beaker of water and heat it strongly. You will find steam coming out. This steam is formed only on heating. Thus, evaporation is faster when we heat water at high temperature. Let us look at one more example. Have you ever tried drying your clothes in the sun? Drying of clothes is faster in sun, whereas drying of clothes is slower in shade. This shows that evaporation is faster at a high temperature. Let us understand this example and compare evaporation of water under the sun and in the shade. Take two bowls of same size containing equal amount of water. Keep one bowl of water in direct sunlight and the other bowl of water in the shade. Observe the amount of water in both bowls after 2 hours. What will happen if you will keep one bowl in sunlight and the other bowl in the shade? What will happen then, students? You will observe that bowl kept under the direct sunlight has less water. This is because water evaporates faster under the sun than in shade. Now, let us learn about the process of condensation. The process through which a gas changes into its liquid state is known as condensation. Water vapor present in the air condenses when it comes in contact with a cool surface. Have you seen water droplets on a steel glass containing ice? Do you know why they are there? Because water condenses at small droplets on the surface of a steel glass containing ice. This means that when water vapors come in contact with a cool surface, they condense and change into water droplets. Let us look at one example to observe the condensation of steam. Take a pan, half fill it with water. Now keep it on flame and let it boil. Now carefully hold the steel plate, hold it with the pair of tongs over the boiling water. You will observe droplets of water on the plate. Thus, when water is boiled, it changes into steam. When this steam comes in contact with the steel plate, it condenses to form droplets of water. Let's now learn about the formation of clouds. Students, have you seen clouds? What does clouds give us? Yes, it gives us rain. But do you know how these clouds are formed? The formation of clouds occur due to condensation. The water vapors condense on dust particles to form tiny droplets of water. Many such tiny droplets join together to form clouds. Inside a cloud, tiny droplets of water join to form larger drops. When these drops become too heavy, they fall down as rain. Let's now learn about water cycle. The movement of water from the atmosphere to earth and back to atmosphere is known as water cycle. Let us try to understand water cycle with the help of this diagram. You all know that water is present on the earth in the seas, oceans, rivers, etc. Evaporation takes place on these water bodies and water changes to gas. It rises up and there condensation occurs and water collects as clouds. When clouds become heavy, precipitation occurs and water falls as rain. This rainwater again returns to land and ocean, and then again the evaporation occurs, and in this way the cycle goes on. This cyclic movement of water is known as water cycle. I hope students you have understood up till here. Read the chapter once again and try to learn it. We will study the rest of the chapter in the next classes. So have a great day, students.